recently, interestingly, VMware made an announcement about virtual cloud network, and VMware put a lot of effort to it, and it has paint a visionary future state that where the network can become. And it's interesting because in certain industries, maybe the network will perpetually be hybrid because certain things wouldn't always be on-prem or certain things will be in the cloud. So it is interesting to think about what the future state is going to look like. And wouldn't it be nice if you have a consistent policies and consistent use cases, consistent design patterns across on-prem and in the cloud so that you can really manage them in the more unified way. Because we're in the public cloud networking and we are interested in how the on-prem and cloud should work together or will work together. So this is something it's interesting for us to think about. And one of our SEs took the initiative. He did an interesting thing. He he put in the he put in the NSX the edge, and then connected to Aviatrix Transit, and NSX using it as manager connected to Aviatrix Transit and put a bunch of spokes. Now his assumption is, okay, now I'm going to have an app in the cloud, and how do I manage this policy so that this app can talk to my database on-prem? How do I try to provide consistent policies across different vendors and the different form factors of the underlying infrastructure?
And just to add more, the applications and data will now be more and more distributed, so they can be chosen to move into Azure or to AWS, or it may be on-prem. And you want to have a network, underlying network which supports that, with the policies and consistent policies and everything else. So this is showing how.
So what he did is he did, because we're API driven, it's actually very simple. He read it through from NSX Manager, the policies governing who can access these DBs, and then apply to Aviatrix controller and to push the policy down on the transit. So before you cannot connect to even though you have an instance stand up in the cloud, without policies, you cannot hook up to the DBs, right? So basically, he's showing that I cannot ping at this point. This is a video play, and then now it could, because he put in the API, because we're API driven, so this is put it in the gateway, the transit gateway, so that the policy is open intelligently from this database about who can access this, what are the destinations.
Are there any limitations to the API, or can I configure every single thing through the API?
Every button you can click, there is an API.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
What do you think about how the cloud routing applies to the overall needs of your organizations, and thinking about on-prem networking in combination with that, the data centers, the branches, and the public cloud? What we're showing here is that now you can move those applications around at will, based on what the business needs, and then you can apply policies in a consistent way so that it's all secure. Thoughts? I'm seeing some.
So in the demo you showed, and I made the assumption that this was the case, but I just want to ask. So if we have multi-cloud, you've got AWS, Azure,
Google.
You're not going to have all the drop downs and native tools. So you're going to have to build like IPsec connectivity more manually through there.
No, it's all drop down.
It's all drop down. Just tell this other Aviatrix, this other router.
Yeah, let's show that. So we can pick. So this is how you see how you can pick Azure ARM, and Azure ARM will set up account, and then from there you launch gateway in Azure, and when you wanted to peer, you can peer Azure and ARM. VNet. I just did that in my demo. That was, I said I did a peering, but remember the AWS EC2 cannot SSH into Azure VM, because there is no spoke-to-spoke connectivity, and I did that. I did that
you
by
did AWS to Azure?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, that's what I was asking. So
that was cross-cloud, yes. Yeah.
On the VPN, are you using Ike v2 or is it Ike v1 still?
Ike v1, yeah.
Okay. Any plans to support Ike v2?
So this is the Ike. So the reason, let me first explain, we hear this question from time to time. Ike v1 and v2 in terms of encryption strength are the same. It's all AES 256. Ike v2 is quicker for the initial phase 1 handshake.
It's
right?
lower overhead and it rekeys, more efficiently,
yeah.
and there's less scenarios where you have to re-auth completely.
Yeah. So, but in terms of encryption strength, AWS VGW support Ike v1, so we stay with that for the interoperability. But in the future, we could consider, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, are you supporting any elliptic curve in the IPsec suite?
No. Right now, we support AES GCM, which is the latest. And SHA-1, SHA-2 for authentication. Yeah.
Do you have full feature parity between IPv4 and IPv6?
No. We support IPv4. Yeah, IPv6 is not today.
Please put that on your list.
Put on the list? Okay.
Great.
All right.
You showed NSX being deployed. I was wondering if you were working with any of the newer ACI features and doing some testing around that.
We have not. In theory, it could be NSX, could be ASR, could be ISR, could be ASS, it could be any number of third party. It's an interesting thought. This NSX experiment is also an interesting experiment, I would say. Yeah, we have not done anything with
so
ACI.
nothing with Cisco ACI.
Yeah, not yet.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Yeah.